Welcome to another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast, featuring the Almighty B Live, the Money Man Scottie D, and your host, the head of creative, Eddy Cool. And without any further ado, let's give it up for the Sports Bros. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. Yes, you see all of us waving. I didn't even have to tell them to wave this time. That's how you know it's going to be a very good episode. And with that being said, y'all, I go by the name of the HOC up in this thing, Eddy Cool, and this is episode number 109 of the Sports Bros Podcast. Is your new favorite sports podcast. That's right. Check us out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you can check out the Sports Bros Podcast. And if you listen to us on Apple, leave us a 5-star review, leave us a rating. I think the way the algorithms work, it helps us get discovered more, and we can always use some extra exposure. But of course, you know, I can't do this by myself. I have two of the best co-hosts in the world. Introducing first, the Almighty B Live.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today? This be your boy up in the building, you know what I'm saying? Coming at you the 109th time. Man, I'm loving every single week of this. Quick shout out to all those keeping together their mentals during Mental Health Month. This is our little bit of therapy, but then again, it ain't really much therapy when I gotta fight all the time with all the silliness that the money man spews out. It's just ridiculous at times. But you know what? It is what it is. And, you know, it's all right, though. I mean, he's the other guy. So, I mean, you go ahead and introduce him whenever you want to. I mean, I guess, whatever.
Wow, B-Live, tell us how you really feel. And speaking of the other guy, he is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania, the one, the only, the money man, Scottie D.
What's happening? What's going on in the world today?
Whoa. First of all, hey, we're not about to do that. You're not about to just steal my line and then come in with your spotty little internet connection. So
wow.
Oh, no me oregato, Mr. Roboto up in here. But go ahead. You know what? I'm gonna let you start over. I'll let you start over and try that again, because you just came in all kinds of disrespectful. So yeah, let's and introducing the other guy. Go ahead. There you go. Take two. Come. You better come correct.
What's going on in the world today? What's happening?
God, then he gonna turn it. Oh my God!
You guys are lucky to have me. You're lucky to have me. Spring is in the air. It's getting warm. We're fighting over gas. It's crazy times. We're taking off masks. Things are changing. The times are changing, boys. A lot happening in the world of sports here. A horse won the Preakness this past weekend, and I don't know who it was. Didn't see it. And I know that Bob Baffert's not going to win the next race because Belmont said, "You ain't coming here, brah. You and your inflated footballs. You're not coming here, brah. No more, no cheating here." But anyway, I digress. Let's do a little show here.
God.
Let's do a little show here, guys. How about it?
B-Live, does this sound a little bit like gimmick infringement, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm gonna start copyrighting. You're gonna have to pay me that, bruh. You know, they're gonna come off them coins. You know what I'm saying? Golly, I tell you what, just the disrespect. But you know what?
It's honoring you. I honored you.
No, I don't believe that for a second at all.
Well, as they say, imitation is the purest form of flattery. And I'm about to take this thing and put the train back on the track, not the track back on the train. We had that happen one time before. Check us out on our Sports Bros Podcast archives. And to piggyback on from where you guys left off last week, where y'all damn near killed each other, guess what? The regular season in the NBA is over with. Now it's time for the playoffs. But before we get there, we're going to talk about these here play-in games. All right, and it goes a little something like this. Over in the Eastern Conference, we got the Pacers versus the Hornets, and then we have the Celtics versus the Wizards. And over on the West side, we got the Grizzlies versus the San Antonio Spurs, and the Warriors versus the Lakers. It's obvious we come here for one game and one game only. The Warriors versus the Lakers. Be Live, who you picking? Who's going to win it? Warriors, Lakers, who you got?
I'm going to tell you this, and this is not because it's not because I dislike LeBron. I just feel like where the Warriors are peaking, the Lakers they're fizzling.
They won 5 in a row. They won 5 in a row.
And they're still in the playing game. Here's the reason why
they won 5 in a row.
Yeah. Okay. Congratulations.
That's not a fizzle.
Look at who they played. First of all,
but that's not a fizzle.
That's a fizzle.
Winning 5 in a row is a fizzle.
Okay. First of all, let's put it this way: the one game that was respectable, and I will give it to them, was the win against the Knicks. Because the Knicks, I'm trying. They're ranked 4th in their conference, and they're really not going to be a match for the Nets or the 76ers or Milwaukee for that matter. But a hard fought 4th seed. The reason why I'm not, there is one player in the league right now that is the hottest player in the league, and it goes by the name of Stephen Curry. When I just feel like right now, when you see Denver quadruple, there are 4 players meeting him at half court. 4 players meeting him at half court, and he's still managing to win the scoring title. He won the scoring title when they had almost no other option. Mama, look at that man. I just feel like this game right here is the pinnacle of games, and he's going to leave it all out there this game. And that's why I'm such an advocate of the playing game. Yes, it may take away from the postseason, but that's part of it. That is the situation that we're in right now, because it was a shortened season. It's 72 games. Now we got a little extra action going on. And I'm going to go ahead and say it before Scottie D says it, because I know you're upset about this play-in. But now, because of the play-in, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 teams that are playing a little extra playoff basketball that are under 500. Like San Antonio Spurs are 5 games behind their the Grizzlies, who they face in the first game, and if San Antonio managed to beat the Grizzlies, that being 5 games behind, it might be a travesty and a sham mockery. So I'll give Scottie D that part of the argument. But right now, who in their right mind doesn't want to see Lakers versus the Warriors right now? And they're fighting for the right to play the Suns.
It's a play-in game for the 7th and 8th seeds. 2 teams who should be in. Oh my gosh. Last week I said it was dumb, and this week I'm going to change that. It's real dumb.
And guess what? All those that make the decisions and get paid the big bucks in the executive offices of the NBA, if they're listening to this podcast and maybe they changed their mind because of your input, Scottie D, I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
They're so smart to have this, because they're going to get all these extra ratings and the extra eyes. And you get LeBron James coming back off of an injury against Steph Curry, who is right now the most valuable player in the league. And it's going to be on at 10 o'clock on Wednesday night. 10. I'm not even going to say it because I'm going to bed. I'm not going to see it. That's not money is if you move it up so the East Coast can watch it on a weeknight.
Still gonna watch it. Still gonna watch it.
A lot of the East Coast isn't. Some of us have to get up at 5:45. We have to go to bed.
So it'll be on after AEW Dynamite. Am I right or am I wrong? Which network is going to be on? ESPN or TNT?
I don't know. I don't know. I ain't get that far. You're asking us to do research. We don't do research on this show, man. I'm gonna Google it in a second. I'm gonna get back to you. Yeah, chicken wing over there, Gamecock country over there. But man, come on now, really. At the end of the day, I'm just glad because my Hornets snuck in at the 10th seed. I don't know what happened to them. They were the 6th seed 3 weeks ago, and they just fell apart all the way to the 10th seed. But
And what's their record?
They're 33-39.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's playoffs.
Losers of 5 straight.
Man, but they're still in. So you're saying that we have a chance. NBA, you got it right. And your boy, the Almighty Belize, says thank you. And to hell what LeBron James thinks. This is gonna be good basketball. And I'm here for it. Yes, sir.
Yep, it's a classic do or die situation, and it's the renewal of the rivalry between LeBron and Steph Curry. As we all know, Steph Curry is on fire. He's hot, 400 degrees, and then some. This is a different kind of Steph. And think about it, he literally had to will his team into a playoff game with just him and Draymond. You know what I mean? See, now we got to leave. Scottie D can't take it no more. He had to leave. He had to leave. He couldn't take it. But literally had to will this team, will them to the play-in game, and then the Lakers, they finally got everybody back in full strength. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game. So
they're not full strength.
Who, the Lakers?
LeBron is not full. He's going to play, but they're not full strength.
Oh
yeah, LeBron hurt his ankle again,
that's right.
And Anthony Davis pulled a groin or something. He's hurt again, and
Schroeder's still not back, is he?
I don't know if Schroeder's playing. I think Rambis is out. Lamar Odom's out with a problem. They're a mess.
Odom.
Smush Parker's not playing. I mean, they're going to be short.
Eldon Campbell, Eddie Jones. What was I about to say? I clearly just drew a blank, but that's okay though. I'm on the Sports Bros Podcast, episode 109. Oh, I know what I was going to ask. Scottie D, when Eddy first got signed, you did have concerns about durability issues about Anthony Davis. Am I correct?
Yeah, I kept saying I thought that they were giving up a lot of players for one guy who was prone to injury. And I mean, he's playing, and he was there. He played hurt through the finals last year. I mean, it's hard to say that the trade didn't pay off because they got a trophy out of it. They got a ring, but it's just he's prone to injuries, and it's not going to get better as he gets older. It's just going to be part of having AD on the team, I believe. So anyway, we'll see how it shakes out on Wednesday night, or actually, we'll see how it shakes out come Thursday morning when we wake up here on the East Coast to see who won that game.
Yeah, because I could, because when hour number 3 of Monday Night Raw comes around, forget about it. I am done. That's just a struggle fest with NXT.
That's because it's Monday Night Raw and it hasn't been entertaining in months, and we literally just watched it just so we could talk trash about how terrible it is. If you haven't noticed, I'm gonna say it. I'm on the air. I'm gonna need Monday Night Raw to get it all the way together. I mean, come on, it's painful to watch. But again, we digress. Somehow we got you did that, Eddie Cool. You mentioned wrestling, and I just had to get that off my chest because we're gonna watch it. And I'm gonna say this: we're gonna watch it tonight, even though Eddie Cool likes to say this is Tuesday because that's when everybody knows by now that we record on Monday.
Yes.
So Jesus, but it's all right. This is our identity, is what we do. And I love every bit of it, especially just poking the bear that is the money man, Scottie D. He's going to be miserable the next couple of days. He's going to be even more miserable when the Lakers lose and then they have to play another game against the winner of Memphis and San Antonio. So I am here for it.
You're going to be nervous when I wake up Thursday morning.
He's going to be shaking in his trousers. All right, fellas, moving along from the NBA talk, let's talk about UFC 262. And B-Live and Scottie D, they had the privilege, the chance, the opportunity, if you will, to watch the entire main card. Me, I do that thing on Saturday nights, call work, I got to make a little money. But I was able to come home in perfect time enough to watch the main event fight between Charles Oliveira and Michael Thornton. With that being said, Scottie D, give us your take on the main event fight and the new lightweight champion.
It was Michael Chandler is who you're speaking of. Michael Chandler, not Michael Thornton, but
I'm sorry, Michael Chandler. I don't know where the hell Michael Thornton came from. But go ahead.
Yeah, Chandler came over from Bellator and was a heavy hitter, and he made his debut. I think it was back in December. Knocked out the number 5 lightweight Dan Hooker quickly, and then announced himself as the new man on the block. There's a new sheriff in town. He said, "Surprise, surprise," something to that effect. And he's taking on a veteran here tonight, Charles Oliveira. He's one of those guys that's just always been around without getting his name in lights until recently. And he took on Tony Ferguson just a few months ago and dominated him. And Tony Ferguson was looked at as, I think Tony Ferguson had a 12-fight win streak, which is unheard of in the UFC. And he was really looked at as the guy who could be possibly the only guy that could beat Khabib. Well, Tony Ferguson, prior to that main event the other night, suffered his 3rd loss in a row. He got just mauled by Justin Gaethje earlier last year. And then the fight with Oliveira, he had his arm ripped out of socket, somehow didn't tap, but he still spent the whole fight against Oliveira on his back. And then same thing kind of happened against Dariush this past weekend. But getting back to Oliveira, he looked so dominant against Ferguson. And I thought, man, this guy is going to be hard to beat if he's, starts moving up these lightweight rankings here. And Dustin Poirier was the guy that should have been fighting for this championship. And he decided he was going to take the fight with Conor McGregor, the rematch. So this was the fight that was going to determine who's taking Khabib's now vacated belt. And Michael Chandler came in hot, but man, what a first round this was. These guys, both of them look close to finishing the other. I was surprised at the end of the first round that we were getting a second round, but I was glad because I wanted to see 4 more rounds of this stuff. And then Oliveira just lights out in the second round. He hit Michael Chandler probably like he's never been hit before. And Oliveira is more known really as finishing on the ground than he is as such a hard striker, but he caught Chandler, and man, what a finish to it was a great fight for a short fight it was. I mean, both guys were throwing submissions, punches, near finishes on each other. Awesome fight. I'd love to see another chance that after a sound defeat like that, though, Michael Chandler's going to probably get moved to the back of the line a little bit. He's going to drop down, and Oliveira most likely, now Dana White never match makes the night after a fight, but most likely if Poirier beats Conor again, he'll probably be the next fight for Oliveira. Man, there's some good fights out there in that lightweight division. There's some real killers in that division. But that fight the other night, B-Live, what did you think? You watched that one. You stayed up and watched that one.
Man, this card that we had was spectacular. I mean, good fight after good fight after good fight. Oliveira, but yeah, that first round was literally like, wow. Like
off the chain.
Like it was like I really thought I picked Oliveira to win. I thought that the submission ground game was just going to be superior. And Michael Chandler actually had him in it wasn't a rear naked. It was guillotine. Had him in the guillotine early, and I thought he had it. I thought he had it sunk in. I thought that was it. And then when he
popped his head through, he was bloodied up. He had busted him up. He opened him up like on the first punch he threw.
And then after that, when he got free, then Chandler put a 2-piece on him and had him reeling. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And then the second round happened, and Oliveira's corner was like, bro, you was backing up the first round. What you doing? Why are you backing up? And he came out the second round, took position in the middle of the ring, middle of the octagon, took the center, and boop, boop, boop. Next thing you know, Michael Chandler was on the fence and was running for his life. And then next thing you know, it was said, done, and over with.
Yeah.
Great freaking match. But I want to feature a couple other things that blew my mind. Scottie D, did you happen to see the Andre Muniz fight with Ronaldo Souza?
Oh, the arm break? We broke his arm? I had to look away. I could. Heard it. I have not personally healed from Chris Weidman's leg injury.
Right.
So whenever they popped out and they went, oh, I said, all right, not looking at this one. I'll turn my head and let my dad tell me what happens on this one. And they're like, oh, and they only showed the replay about a dozen times. Over and over again, they were showing it.
But the thing about it is that I saw it, but when I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, he broke his arm. I
didn't hear that. I didn't catch it in real time. I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
it was only their reactions that made me say, all right, that's it. I'm not looking at that.
And then in featherweight match between Barboza and Shane Burgos, the most delayed knockout ever.
Most bizarre ending I've seen. That was crazy.
It took him like 10 seconds to realize, oh, he hit me and he hit me hard. And I'm telling you, that's exactly
it was.
He faded. He literally he lost consciousness. And it was so delayed. Barboza didn't even know what to do. He was like, okay, well, I pieced him. And okay. And the next thing
he didn't know either. He said he was confused after the fight. He said he didn't know what happened.
Wow.
He said, I'm gonna have to watch that again because I don't really know. It literally, he hit him with a 2-punch combination. It literally was about 3 seconds before the dude started staggering backwards. He took a couple steps forward, ready to engage again. And then Burgos all of a sudden he got drunk and staggered backwards.
The look in his eyes, it just changed. It was like he just faded.
Wow.
But
it's
okay,
like after you take a couple shots of Fireball and then you're dancing, and all of a sudden, whoa, down you go. I mean, it was crazy. I had never seen anything quite like that before.
And I need your help on one more match because I still don't believe it. I don't understand it. The Chukagian match, women's flyweight. Where did she win that fight?
You know, the first couple rounds were close, but I actually thought she'd lost the first two and convincingly won the third. As soon as they said 30-27, I said that they're giving her that fight. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing with those close fights like that. She outstruck her in the second round, but she was on her back. The other girl I forget the other girl's name.
I can't. Vivian. Yeah, you know what?
Vivian Araujo.
There you go.
Yeah, she had ground control for like 2.5 minutes, and was attempting submissions and some ground and pound. Yeah, I didn't like that decision. Unfortunately, that kind of thing happens when you go to the scorecards. They always say don't let it go to the judges' scorecards, but the other person's getting paid too. It's not like you can just go out there and say, I'm definitely going to beat you up and submit you or knock you out. The other person's trained hard for that too. Yeah, I was a little bit. I questioned that one too.
And I always love Scottie D with his reactions when he's like, "Oh God, shoot cake is." She yells after every punch. I was like,
oh wow.
Yeah, I hate that. Did you see that? Every time she throws it, oh, I hate that so much. I can't root for her. I hate that so much. I just it's like watching these tennis players who shriek every time they hit the ball. It doesn't help you play better. Stop doing that. Novak Djokovic does that now in tennis. Who wants to hear a guy groan for 3 or 4 hours out there? I just hate it. I just hate that stuff. Yes, I can't root for Chukagian anymore. I don't like that. But and then we saw another sad sight, and it's Tony Ferguson fight off of his back for 3 rounds. I mean, at this point, man, you got to start wondering. This happens to fighters, though. They look unstoppable, then all of a sudden they can't win. And this happens to a lot of fighters. I mean, it just recently happened to Tyron Woodley. Kind of thing happened to Chuck Liddell. It happens to Cowboy Cerrone. These guys, they look unstoppable. Then they lose a fight, and then it just seems like they can't get back on the winning track. And that just speaks volumes of how young up and coming fighters develop. And it's out with the old and in with the new. But what a shame to see Tony Ferguson like that. I mean, I want to see him fight. And Benel Dariush just absolutely schooled him the other night. Wasn't even close.
Well, one thing that was mentioned about that fight and with Tony Ferguson was that Tony Ferguson, for that 12-match win streak he had a shock and awe. Like, he was very unpredictable when it came to his style and his technique. But then it was mentioned in the fight with Darius and then his other two matches with Oliveira and Gaethje, that these guys were technically sound. Like and Ferguson, he's really like, he has technical ability, but he was a wild card. You really couldn't. But technique is getting more and more prevalent. Like you look back at UFC 1, and it was a brawl. It was a street fight.
It hadn't developed into a sport yet at that point. You had a guy fight with one boxing glove.
Matter of fact, I remember actually ordering that pay-per-view. I was the reason. All right, so here's a little quick story. There was one time where a young Eddy wanted to watch Halloween Havoc back in 1994, and then UFC is kind of like wrestling. I wanted to find out that this was night wrestling, and for the first time in my life, I saw a grown man knock out a tooth of another grown man, and I was like, yeah, it was something different. And I remember they had some big dude fighting. I think the first time I saw Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn, and I'm like, oh, this is different. And look how far it's come from 94 till now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that first one was won by the smallest guy out there, Hoist Gracie. Yep. And that developed an entire sport because it's the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu has become an important thing. And that's when everybody knew back then you can be little and competitive if you learn this skill and technique and just don't go out there and just try to brawl. But anyway, yeah, it's come a long way since then. But every Saturday night we get good fights, and this just goes to show. I heard it said on the radio multiple times, this is a 2-fight card. Well, you can't judge how good a card is until you've seen it. Yep. Because sometimes the big names go out there and will throw a clunker, and this fight was this card was good. And once again, they were in Houston, so they were in front of fans once again. And Dana White said that probably the fight nights will continue in the empty arenas back in Vegas, but the pay-per-views he's going to continue to try to do it in front of a live audience. So UFC's back, baby, back in front of a live crowd.
Yep, and before we get out of here with UFC talk, we got 263 coming up on Saturday, June the 12th, where we have the last style bender, Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori for the middleweight title. Should be very interesting. And moving right along, fellas, we're going to the sport of golf. Guess what? The PGA Championship coming to you beginning this Thursday in Kiawah Island, South Carolina. And fellas, it's time to make some predictions. And with that being said, Scottie D, who you got to win the PGA Championship?
Oh, man, it's always so hard to pick a golfer. But I'm going to say Xander Schauffele is going to be the guy that steps in and gets it done this week. And he's going to be my pick to win. And as a sleeper to keep your eye on, a guy named Will Zalatoris, who's been playing well. He's always seemed to be around the leaderboard this 2021 season. So, it's easy to pick the big names, the Justin Thomases, DeChambeau, and Rory McIlroy right now is playing well again. He just won a couple weeks ago. I actually didn't even see who won the golf tournament this weekend. I'll have to look that up.
The Byron Nelson, was it?
Yeah.
I didn't see that either. But yeah. I'm gonna go with a sleeper. I'm gonna go with a sleeper of my own. The person I'm rooting for, the hometown kid. I want to see Dustin Johnson win it in South Carolina. I think that would be a feel good story with that. And then also, something tells me, Scottie Scheffler. I feel like he might do some damage here at Kiawah Island. So I'm going to keep my eye on him. He's going to be my sleeper pick for the PGA Championship. Oh, man. Could you imagine one of these days that we'll be able to go to one of these golf tournaments and everything?
Hey, pre-pandemic, this one, I had this one penciled in on my calendar. I was going to this one, and I was taking you guys with me. I even mentioned that a long time ago. So this is not too far from Myrtle Beach, just a little ways down the road. Life happens,
But we going. We
going to something very soon. Sports Bros families, stay tuned because
we going.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If I have to drag Scottie D from Washington, Pennsylvania down to Dallas, Texas, that we've got that penciled in. Yes, Yes, you heard it here first. I've already booked the hotel for October 2nd and October 3rd for the Sports Bros to go to Jerrah World for the Panthers versus the Cowboys. So
that's a long way to go to see your favorite team lose, man.
Oh, man. Oh, is the trash talker begin?
Oh, yeah, we really got to bring it out.
We got to make this happen now. As you see, we digress. We were talking about golf, but I just had to go ahead and say it. We going. We going. We gotta go. I'm gonna put the what's the Cash App in the description or something. Hey, just hook a brother up. Hey, we Sports Bros, we trying to go to Dallas. It ain't cheap.
It ain't.
But we going. We going.
All right, let's see. Who am I picking for the PGA Championship predictions? I'm looking at the odds right now. We have Rory McIlroy. That's my favorite.
He's the favorite. He's the favorite.
He's a 10-1 favorite. B.I.'s pick Dustin Johnson is 12-1 favorite. Justin Thomas and Bryson DeChambeau, they're 14-1 favorites. Tony Finau, Scottie D, is a 33-1 favorite. Hideki Matsuyama, the winner of the Masters, he's a 25-1 favorite. And Jordan Spieth is a 16-1. I'm gonna have to roll with Rory McIlroy, man. He's on fire, man. He's playing some real great golf at this point in time. I was gonna roll with Brooks Koepka, but Brooks got a bum knee. And as we all know, bum knee, soft sand, not a good combination on the beach. Not a good combination on the beach, none whatsoever. And also, I watched the Four Letter Network this morning, and the weather report, the weather's going to be nice. It's not going to be as windy. So which means the score, there should be, it should be a high scoring affair versus, against the wind, and the scores are pretty low.
It's supposed to be a really difficult course. I mean, they're all tough whenever they set them up for majors, but this is one of those events. You can lose on one hole. You can't win it on one hole. You can lose it on one hole. And I saw that happen to Victor Hovland at an event earlier this year. That's another dude who's lurking. He's only, I think, 23 years old. I like watching him play. He's a calm, cool customer. Don't believe he has a win on the PGA just yet, but he's always right there on the top of the leaderboard. So I'm going to be rooting for Victor Hovland this weekend as well.
Good. All right, fellas, we all got our picks in for the PGA Championship in Kiawah Island, South Carolina. Everybody good?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
And I'll tell you who's not good at golf, and that's me. But anyway, we'll talk about that another time.
Scottie D, we appreciate your honesty. But guess what else we're going to appreciate, fellas?
Well, we appreciate it. What we got? What's happening? What's going on? Who do we appreciate? Yo, man. Hey. I'm sorry, my bad.
It is that time once again, fellas, for our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices. And with that being said, hey, yo, Button, hit it.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and ever so lovely Miss Button for introducing our favorite portion of the show. You heard the woman, the choices of the voices segment. Now, usually I take a swig of water before I try that, but some days I hit it on point, and some days swing and a miss. And today is swing and a miss out of 100 plus episodes. But anyways, we're going to be talking about the choices of the voices. And she is right. This is our favorite portion of the show. And with that being said, Scottie D, what's on tap for this week's choices of the voices?
All right, I asked the listeners to go into the world of sports movies and tell us what they thought was the worst or their least favorite sports movie of all time. Thought we'd get a little bit more here, but we had a couple good answers. And I got one or two I'm ready to talk about. So, Eddie, let's get to it here. What we got?
All right, let's get right into it. We got the Hall of Famer himself, Uncle Max. He says, I thought The Babe, starring John Goodman, was a really bad movie. Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that?
Nope. And the funny thing about it is I really didn't hear much about it. Really did not hear much about it, none whatsoever. Uncle Max goes on to say, I really look forward to seeing it and watched it all the way through and was completely disappointed.
Oh my gosh. No, I didn't see this when it first came out. And one night it just came on TV and I wasn't expecting it to be on. It came on like TNT or one of those secondary channels. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to check this out. This came out a while ago. I'm going to watch this. It was almost like John Goodman was playing a caricature. It was almost like a sketch comedy and trying to be serious. It was ridiculously terrible. It was so bad. I think I got maybe 20 to 30 minutes in. I just couldn't. I was like, this is just putrid. I mean, I couldn't even believe that John Goodman would put out such a performance like that. It was almost cartoonish. It sucked. Good call, Uncle Max. That one was terrible.
Oh, wow. All right. The best name of the game, Joe Comfort, he says, without a single doubt, I'd say The Ringer.
was that the
Johnny Knoxville?
Johnny Knoxville track and field with the Special Olympics?
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
It was bad. That was really bad.
Like, yeah.
Good luck getting that movie to a studio today.
Right. Facts.
Yeah.
Big facts. Yeah, this cancel culture we got going on.
It would never make it to the big screen today. I would never get out of a production idea, make that production meeting. Terrible.
Yeah, like you said about this cancel culture, man. You better not fart in a cardboard box or send anybody. You'll get canceled. They'll cut you off. Yeah, they will cut you all the way off. All right, Corey Logren, he said Joanna Man. And I think the best thing that came out of Joanna Man was, what's the song? What's love got to do with it? And that's it. That's the only best thing that came out of Joanna Man, if I'm not mistaken.
Why did anybody think that was a good idea? Just wrong. The movie was wrong. It was terrible.
I never saw it. I didn't see that one. I remember saying
I didn't watch the whole movie. I barely know the premise behind it, but it was I mean, who was cross-dressing in that movie? You know what? Let's just move on. Corey, you're right. it was just wrong. It was wrong. It was not a good idea.
Yeah, the drizzling poops see Joanna Man. I feel bad for Miguel A. Nunez Jr. Such a brilliant actor, and then you land this turd. But hey, man, when you need work, you go to work in this case. All right, so Rodney, what's going on, Rodney? Hot Rod, he says he loves the South Park guys, but basketball was pretty damn terrible. Basketball by the South Park guys. Thoughts on that?
Didn't
fellas?
see it. Didn't see that one.
Oh my goodness. I've seen this movie probably about 10 times because it does so happen to keep showing up.
Really?
I've seen it quite a few times. I think it's hilarious. I think when I knew it was the South Park guys, it was exactly what I expected. It was, I mean, I don't know why he thinks it's terrible because, I mean, yes, the movie is terrible, but it's terrible in a good way because it's literally, you think of South Park, this is exactly what you're going to get.
That's exactly why I didn't see it.
So that's what I'm saying. If you're a fan of South Park, I don't know why you would not like that movie because it was just as brash, wrong, just
South Park's
nasty.
terrible. That sucks. South Park
But
sucks.
I'm gonna tell you one thing that I really liked about the movie because it makes a lot of sense. It's the only time that's ever been brought up. But in the beginning of the movie, they talked about all the expansion and everything, and teams moving and stuff like that. You got the Utah Jazz where they don't even allow music. You got the Los Angeles Lakers where they don't have any lakes. And so, and they mentioned that at the beginning of the movie, and that's where, like, they were just giving like an origin story of basketball and everything like that. And I just thought that was hilarious because it's true. It's just the fact that teams move around, but they don't change their name. Like yeah, you get it. You would understand where Lakers came from if you knew the origin that they came from Minneapolis, the land of 10,000 lakes. You would know that. But kids nowadays, Los Angeles Lakers, where does that come from? Do they even know the kids nowadays? Do they know that the New York Knicks are New York Knickerbockers?
No.
And would they understand that? Do they understand history or anything like that? So I like that angle. Yes, the movie It's literally the South Park guys, and they are exactly. All right, cool.
They're there in the head. All right, so we got Martin Tracy.
Oh, good.
And he gave us a paragraph / variety. So I'm going to skim through it and throw out a few names. Okay, so many to choose from. I'll start off with I can't think of a one more time, sir. I can't think of a good sports sequel except maybe Rocky 2, so Caddyshack 2, Major League sequel, Mighty Ducks, Sandlot, Kids 2. List goes on and on and on. He also picked Joanna Man. He also picked Joanna Man. He said, I will admit I'm biased because I care less about golf. He said, anything related besides Caddyshack, that movie is untouchable. Okay, Caddyshack one.
Right, best movie. Yeah.
Can't miss it. He said, without any further ado, my pick for worst sports movie is The Legend of Bagger Vance. I watched it with an open mind, even with my bias towards golf, thinking, hey, it's got Will Smith, Mac Damon, who says that's his cousin from Boston. He said it got to be good, right? Wrong. Not even those two all-stars in a case of Sam Adams could save this boring script.
I liked The Legend of Bagger Vance. I did. I thought that movie was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best movie I've ever seen, but I liked it. I mean,
never watched it.
Really? So, I mean, it's okay. I liked how they tied in real. They had real golfers of the era playing against a local hero. It was okay. Yeah, I could see how you'd find it boring, but Sam Adams should have done the trick, I would think. Sam Adams, you would think. But to his point about some of these sequels, these are terrible. Some Caddyshack 2 was incredibly bad. I mean, it was a terrible script. You take out Rodney Dangerfield, Ted Knight died, no Bill Murray, no Michael O'Keefe, Chevy Chase was barely in it. That movie was hot garbage. I don't know how it even got made. Rocky 2 was good, but did you guys see the one? I'm sure you saw it, the one with Tommy Gunn, Tommy Morrison, whatever. That was Rocky 4. Hot garbage. Rocky 4, where they're fighting in a bar and it's all of a sudden like televised on TV. Come on. I mean, a bar fight televised. It just they break out, a fight breaks out of the bar and it ends up on TV and everybody's watching. Stupid. I didn't see Sandlot Kids 2 or Mighty Ducks 2. I think I saw the sequel to Major League and it was terrible. Yeah, there's some bad ones. Sports movies are tough to make because
they are.
You got to try to make them good without being cheesy.
It's just a classic case of the first one is good, but the sequel, you're pushing it. I mean, just imagine if they made like a Scarface trilogy.
Scarface bringing back the dead like Jason.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back. I'm not dead.
Somebody had some long lost son that he didn't know anything about that takes over the empire. Yeah. You can't do it. But did not know there was a Caddyshack 2. And like you said, Scottie D, there shouldn't have been a Caddyshack 2. You telling me no Rodney Dangerfield?
No, in fact, I think Rodney Dangerfield wanted to do a sequel. I think it was kind of his idea. And then he had like a falling out with the studios and the writers. So he's out. They decided to go ahead with it. They talked Jackie Mason into playing like a similar type of character. It was terrible. It shouldn't have even got made. Bill Murray wasn't back, but they brought in Dan Aykroyd to play like a similar type of groundskeeper. It was over the top. It was terrible. It should never have been made. And I actually went to the theater and saw that when I was a kid. And I was like, man, what a waste of Friday night or whatever it was when I was a kid, went to see it. Terrible movie.
Is there any way you can get your money back for that, Scottie D?
I wish I could get the hour and a half back that I spent on it.
I would like to because Matty Ice mentioned about all the golf movies. How does he feel about Happy Gilmore?
How do I feel about it?
No, well, anybody. Well, I would like to see what Matty Ice, how does he feel about Happy Gilmore? I think it's hilarious.
He should be fine. Hell, he's wearing a Bruins jersey.
Yeah, I liked Happy Gilmore till they got to the end, and then they ruined it with the whole.
So
The thing falls on the green, and he's putting over a pipe, and
like some mini
come on.
putt mess.
Yeah, I mean, come on, do better for a finish. Yeah, you had a funny movie. Yeah, it was. I know it's a comedy, but
that
same thing
belongs to Happy Gilmore.
Did you ever see what was the skating movie with Will Ferrell and Napoleon Dynamite?
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory. Yeah. These guys are skating. It turned into a crazy. It was a good concept. It was a concept for a comedy, and then at the end they're like flying through the cloud. Come on. I mean, no.
Doingtoomuch.com.
Yeah. Doing
And that's
too much.
And I said this before. I think Adam Sandler movies either hit it out of the park or they suck. That one was kind of borderline. Waterboy, absolutely. Blue Goats. That was a terrible, terrible movie. That blew chunks. It was awful.
Quality H2O.
Once again, this is I don't understand why y'all have such high expectations for guys that they're gonna be dumb with it. Like with Rodney,
you can do comedies and not be so ridiculously stupid where it's insulting.
Sandler.
That's what so I'm agreeing with you.
Either be extra.
Park or it's like that one was the one we just talked about. The golf movie was good. The singer movie, The Wedding Singer, that was a good one. Big Daddy was a good one. This one was terrible. I didn't even watch Little Nicky where he's like, "It's a devil guy," or what, No,
that was too
he's
far
either
out.
over the top or he's good. And that one, the Waterboy, like Matty Ice, maybe had a few Sam Adams before I went to the theater, and it didn't make me laugh, even with that assist.
It really, really sucks. Water sucks.
All right, Scottie. So from the looks of it, you picked The Waterboy as your least favorite comedy sports movie, right?
Believe it or not, that's not my answer. That is close. The word I can't help but keep going back to The Replacements with Keanu Reeves as the quarterback and Gene Hackman, the replacement guy. These guys are doing a dance in the end zone, and
that's the best part.
Oh man, is that movie terrible? I mean, he's not even in the stadium, and then he starts the second half. You got the over the top bad guy quarterback. It takes come on, that movie. I can't with that movie. That was so bad. Aren't there like twins in it, and Favreau's all chubby dancing in the end zone doing? It was terrible. It was too much. Who's got heart is Shane Falco, and then Shane Falco appears like it's WWE, just shows up. The Replacements.
Uber cheese.
Give me. I'd probably watch Caddyshack 2 again before I watch The Replacements again. That was terrible. What about you guys? How about you guys? Be Live. What do you got?
I thought about this long and hard. There's a lot of movies I could have picked, but when it comes to sports movies and stuff like that, I sort of like. I put them in different categories because there's certain movies that are portraying real life stories, and the way they're portrayed, like I like real life drama sports movies. Like, so then you have your comedic spoofs and stuff like that. Then you just have the over the top ridiculous ones that just don't make any sense. And so my least favorite, do y'all remember Lil Bow Wow?
Yeah.
Like Mike,
yeah, I remember that one.
God,
didn't see it.
Yeah, just why? It did not make any sense. Like, I didn't like Lil Bow Wow anyway, and oh my God, it just made no sense. But he's supposed to be this orphan and all this stuff, and he makes it to the, like, come on, man. You trying to make a feel-good story out of something that just ain't gonna happen.
Uber cheese.
And so I put that one up there, and I'm also gonna mention Air Bud.
I heard that was bad. I heard
and then they had the nerve, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they have the nerve to make a sequel to that one?
They made a whole franchise, the dog and babies, and it was bad.
It was
the damn dog and puppies, and it was a
like,
dog.
Why? Just, oh my goodness. One movie that was over the top that I actually liked though was Angels in the Outfield. That was over the top, but I liked it. It just you again over the top where you freaking it was ridiculous. It's not true, but it was a better film. But yeah, like Mike and Airbud, come on. It's one of those things where people sit in a room for days, weeks, writing scripts, freaking put this together. This is what you come out with? Oh man. But yeah, I still can't believe you don't like the water boy. I really don't understand. I don't understand. And
quality H2O.
Oh God. All right, guys.
Coach Orgeron before Coach Orgeron.
Yeah. Hey, have you seen the episode of The Young Rock, the Rock TV show where he went to Miami and they had a coach? And he was like, give me some needs so I can continue to talk like this. Coach, and I was like, wow.
Coach O is on Young Rock, and they spoof about the fact that he ate coffee grounds.
Yeah.
To keep energized. As opposed to drinking coffee, he actually ate coffee grounds. Wow. And so Coach O was actually on the show. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, good old Ed Orgeron. All right, fellas. Excuse me, everybody. Let me clear my throat. Don't sue me, DJ. All right, so here we go. It was a sequel to a classic that came out. I think it was the 60s or the 70s. The reboot of The Longest Yard. Here's the thing about it. We just talked about this guy ad nauseum, Adam Sandler. Okay. Either he hits it out the park or he drops a hot flaming turd in the punch bowl. Here's why I feel about this. Okay, you have Adam Sandler playing a quarterback, a bad guy quarterback. Ooh, mistake, or a bad guy quarterback. I don't see that with Adam Sandler. If that's the case, they should just pluck Tom Marinovich from somewhere. or Jim McMahon from somewhere. Give me a real deal, authentic, legitimate quarterback. I don't give a damn if he can act or not. Just give me somebody that's a half-ass actor and that has that bad boy role. Hell, I mean, Johnny Manziel was probably like in the 5th grade by the time this came out, but yet still, I would have rather had Johnny Manziel back there.
So you didn't like all the wrestlers that were in it?
Oh yeah, I got I like the fact Terry Crews is in there, Goldberg was in there, Stone Cold, the great Khali was in there before everybody knew who the hell he was.
The great Michael Irvin.
Yep, Michael Irvin. I think
Steve Nash was in there.
Yeah, they had some of everybody. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, Kevin Nash is in there.
Kevin.
Yep,
that part.
Yep, Kevin Nash. Yep, Kevin Nash is in there. Bill Romanowski, his crazy ass, he was in there. By the way, y'all, check out Dark Side of Football. This past week's episode was about Chad Johnson. I think the next week, Bill Romanowski.
I watched that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, Brian Bosworth, they had him in there. I got it. It was pretty cool seeing like some of the wrestlers in there, but like Adam Sandler as a bad guy, ex-con quarterback, not buying it.
It had Chris Berman in it. Look at that little maggot run, had Nelly in it. Like,
yeah.
How did you told me right now you did not like that movie? Here comes some. Y'all don't really want me now. Boom.
Here's the thing about it, man. I
can recite that movie. I've seen it so many times.
For me, man, it was just Adam Sandler as the bad guy quarterback, the rebel. I was like, I'm not buying it. Everything else is good, but him being in the movie was like,
it was so.
I could have done without him. Hell, they should have put Burt Reynolds' ass up in there. I would have been okay with that. So I mean,
he was in it though.
He was in it.
Yeah, he was in it. Yeah,
I'm about to say he was in it.
Yeah.
And Nate Scarborough. Like I literally can recite the entire movie.
Oh man.
What was it?
I couldn't sit through it that amazing.
Chris Rock. Like that was such a star. Like, there was a lot of stars in that movie, and but hey, to each their own. I'm not, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not going to fight you on it, except for your opinion about college football. That's going to be all day, every day. See it, but and anything that Scottie D says is just wrong all the time. So I'm here for it, because I want the smoke. Yes, sir.
All right, we got B-Live doing his best Street Prophets impersonation over here. Shout out to Uncle Max, Joe Comfort, Corey, Rodney, and Martin Tracy for their participation in this week's Choices of the Voices. Scottie D, what's on tap next week for Choices of the Voices?
Okay, so I stole this one from a wrestling podcast. We mentioned we're all wrestling fans, and I listened to a show called Busted Open. And the other day they were talking about they have call-in listeners on their show. They were asking if you could go back and change something, what would you change? And for wrestling purposes, the most answered question was, or the most popular answer was that most of the fans would have not let Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania and end his streak. I actually liked that angle, but that was the most popular answer. Personally, I thought Sting not winning at WrestleMania. Anyway, getting back to our question, we're going to ask you, what would you change if you could change one thing? Where you could make something different happen, whether maybe your team lost a Super Bowl or made a trade or lost the NBA championship, something in that. If you could change one, you get one thing to go back into the past, go back in history and change for any of your favorite sports team. Or maybe you say, I'll wake up in the morning and tell Mike Tyson to keep his chin up in the 8th round, or whatever. You can change one thing. What would it be? Go back in history. You get one. You don't get two. You get one. One change in sports history. That'll give us something to talk about next week, Eddie. Cool.
All right, cool. We get a chance to rewrite history.
Yes.
Right or wrong, correct a mistake. And B-Live, you being a Panthers fans, we got a handful of them.
you already know it. But I'm going to make this mention real quick when it comes to about sports movies. Tim Livingston, I'm on you. Because coming out this year, I do believe, Space Jam 2, and it's starring LeBron James. So there you go with sports sequels. It has been reported.
It's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible.
It's been reported that there is a Michael Jordan sighting in Space Jam 2. So, Tim Livingston, is that your GOAT? Is that your GOAT that LeBron James still needs Michael Jordan to come in and save his movie? Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time. LeBron James, yeah, you are right, but you will never be the GOAT. Yes, sir.
Scottie D said, hey, man, hell, who knows?
I said what I said.
Hashtag he said what he said. He want the smoke. He want all that good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for another edition of the Choices of the Voices. See you next week when we answer some questions and hear what you got to say on our favorite portion of the show.
Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pepper.
Yep, you heard the woman. It's time to get the hell up out of here, round the bases, and go home. As you guessed it, it is time for another edition of Pepper. You know how we do it. We give you 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of, sort of, not really. It's probably going to be funny, probably going to be entertaining, but all in all, you get the Sports Bros podcast. And I'll go first, but I'm doing something a little different. I don't have a historical fact. I'm going to wish you a happy birthday fact first, and then the next 2 pepper points, they're going to be dope as well, too. All right, my first pepper point, let's wish a happy birthday to Reggie Jackson, a.k.a. Mr. October, all right? Today is his birthday. Yep, today is the day that he graced us with his presence on this here God's green earth. Shout out to Harley Race for that one. He's a 14-time All-Star, the 1973 American League MVP, five-time, well, you get it, five-time World Series champion, and a 1993 Hall of Fame inductee. Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Happy birthday, fella. Over to you, Scottie D.
Happy birthday, Reggie. All right, so I'm nervous, guys. You see, I'm in the spirit of the NHL playoffs. The Pittsburgh Penguins coughed up home ice on Sunday. A 4-3 loss in overtime to the Islanders. They coughed up a second period 2-1 lead. This is now 10 out of 11 losses. Out of the last 11 games, they've lost 10 in the postseason. I'm getting nervous, guys. I mean, I know it's only one game, but it's been a couple years now since the Penguins got out of the first round, and they're good. And I'm telling you, B-Live, they're going to win the cup. If they lose this series, I don't know where they go from here because they have restructured this team from last year to this year. Sidney Crosby's 33, still in his prime, but on the back edge of the prime. The window's still open, but they need to get through that window now. Penguins, don't make me nervous. Do better. Penguins going to win the Stanley Cup. B-Live, over to you.
Hold on, Scottie D. Where the hell's Malkin? Where's Evgeny Malkin? Where's he at?
He's back. He's back playing.
Okay.
He was out injured for the last couple weeks, but he came back in the last couple games before the end of the regular season. But he's in there, but we need him to do better. Do better. B-Live, over to you. Penguins winning the cup. B-Live, over to you.
Okay. Yeah. You keep saying that. It doesn't, just because you say it multiple times does not make it to be true.
I like the Penguins to win the cup. B-Live, over to you.
All right. God, you're so annoying. With that being said, it does me great pride because one would call him the hometown hero. And when it comes to the world of music, I want to talk about J. Cole, Jermaine Cole, Mr. 2-6, Fayetteville's own Forest Hills Drive, J. Cole. Now you ask, what does that have anything to do with sports?
What does that have anything to do with sports, B-Live?
Anything to do with sports. B-Live, over to you.
God bless America. All right, so they're both being idiots now. All right. But yes, not only did J. Cole just release new album that is number one in over 90 countries right now, but he's also taking the time after he released his album to play some professional basketball over in the Basketball Africa League. J. Cole made his debut with the Patriots Basketball Club this past Sunday, and yeah, had a little modest little stat line: 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Another 18 minutes of playing time. The Patriots are based in Kigali, Rwanda, and they took on the Rivers Hoopers Basketball Club. And why is this significant? Because, man, the man's living his dream. He wanted to play basketball. He wanted to play professional basketball. So, hey, do it to it. Hey, J. Cole, you can't do no wrong here in the 2-6 Vietnam 910. Stand up. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Eddy Cool. The ball.
And the ball goes over to me. Yeah, man. J. Cole, man. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Piggybacking off of B-Live's What Happened video. If you have not seen that, please go check it out on our YouTube channel. Right now in America, there's a gas shortage, especially in the southeastern portion of the country. I've also heard on the Steve Harvey Morning Show, there's a condiment shortage, particularly at Chick-fil-A. I don't know. I guess so. And in the NFL, there somehow, some way, there has to be a shortage on tight ends. Now, as B-Live mentioned, you got free agents like Tyler Eifert, Jesse James, and Trey Burton. All right. These guys have played the tight end positions their whole entire career, right? For, more than a handful of years. They got drafted as tight ends to play the position of tight end in the National Football League for their respective teams. And Tim Tebow, he said, you know what? I guess I'm going to go ahead and get in on the tight end party too. That's another story for another day. Yes, I'm going to widen the view, and we're going to look at B-Live's face of disdain right quick.
All right. I've already said my piece. And who was I arguing with on
Pete.
Zuckerberg? Terrible Pete Talansky. Man, cut it out. It was comical. B, it's still comical. C, is a joke. Man, Tim Tebow should not be playing tight end. I'm sorry, almost took over A Cool's pepper point. That was my pepper point because I made an entire video from it, and he's just gonna take it from me. But that's cool. Go ahead, talk about it.
No, be live.
Okay, you paying homage to me again? That's what we're doing again?
I'm paying homage to you, but hold on, be live. But the thing about it is, we have a new tight end on the scene in the National Football League. Anybody got an idea who the hell he is?
Johnny Manziel?
Ooh, no. Because remember, when the Zappers booze, they lose. But anyways, Kelvin Benjamin. Yes, Kelvin Benjamin, former first-round draft pick of the Carolina Panthers.
Don't remind me.
Yep, who also got cut by the Panthers and then had a stop in Kansas City. That didn't materialize anything. And then had a stop in upstate New York and Buffalo. That also was a drizzling as well, too. Now, Kelvin Benjamin, he been going through a lot of stuff. His mama passed away, mental health and everything. Like I said, May is Mental Health Month, so I get it. I understand. My mom passed away, so my heart goes out to him. I really get it. So I guess he said, well, if I'm a little bit too big, too thick, and chunky to play wide receiver, because unless you're playing NFL Street, you never seen a thick or chunky wide receiver. I guess he said, you know what? Let me give good old Dave Gettleman a call, former Panthers GM. And he said, sure, Kelvin, I got a spot for you at tight end. Yep, you guessed it. The New York Giants signed Kelvin Benjamin as tight end with the New York Football Giants. Giants fans, if you're watching this, leave some comments in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Let us know what the hell's going on. And with that being said, over to you, Scottie D.
All right, looks like there's some changes going to be made here with basketball broadcasting. Chris Webber is out at TNT. Kind of a coincidence him and Jalen Rose made up. Maybe he's trying to get a job from the brother over at ESPN. I don't know. It's nice to see them make up either way. But the bigger change than Chris Webber not going to be on TNT anymore is Marv Albert, about to retire after the NBA postseason this year. He's about to turn 80 in June. Hard to believe that dude's going to be that old. Yeah, really. But I mean, he's just always been there, right? He's been around forever.
Yes.
After close to 60 years of broadcasting, yes, a gorgeous move by Patrick Ewing. He has been beyond just basketball. He's had 8 Super Bowls, 9 NBA finals, 7 Stanley Cup finals, which I did not realize. And I used to love watching him go on Letterman with his blooper reels. Those were always classic. Feels like he's been around forever. A little blip on the radar back in, I think it was 97. He was biting a couple broads whenever he got intimate, gnawing on a couple chickadees there, a couple babes. But he got ousted for, I think he was on ABC, got ousted for a few years, made his way back. But anyways, he's always just been there when it comes to basketball. He's one of those guys that's been around forever, like Vince Scully, who moved on a few years ago, and Doc Emmerich from from the NBC network on and doing NHL coverage. So it's kind of end of an era. But Marv Albert, man, you always hear his voice when you think of Knicks games, especially Knicks and Bulls games in the early 90s. So been a great career, man, and I'll miss hearing Marv Albert's calls on NBA on TNT. Best of luck to him. Eddie, be live. Over to you, brother.
Definitely want props to Marv Albert, and we're all human. We do make mistakes and such. So I don't want people pulling up my checkered past when
me neither.
When I decide when that time comes, when I'm looking for a sports announcer job, and I maybe do play-by-play color commentator, your boy, boom, yes sir, yes sir.
Oh,
So
man.
I'm just get ready for you.
What are you talking about? Do you have a pepper point or?
Yeah, I do have can I advertise myself since
Can you give me a pepper point here?
since there's an opening? Maybe somebody hear this and want to have me on to replace Marv Albert. Hey, you know what I'm saying, can a brother dream? Can a brother dream?
You can do that.
Can a brother give a pepper point?
Yeah, absolutely.
What the hell are you talking about? Let's go.
So, in other news, during Tom Brady's stay in Tampa Bay, come to find out that he has been renting an establishment. He's been renting a place to stay here in the wonderful state of Florida. But Tom Brady might have to be looking for another place to live because his landlord is selling the property.
Ooh.
And could you possibly guess who Tom Brady's landlord is?
Who is it?
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter is Tom Brady's landlord, and he's sold his waterfront mansion that in Tampa that Tom Brady is renting for $22.5 million.
How selfish.
Very, very selfish.
Now, here's a kicker. Jeter bought the property back in 2005 for 6.3.
No. He's profiting that much off of it?
Yeah.
Holy cow. Wow.
Flip this house. And then I'm just going to throw out there because I gotta come with some stats for you. Tom Brady's rent.
I was about to ask you that. Go ahead.
Tom Brady's rent per month was a whopping $44,321 a month.
Oh my gosh. Surely somebody that's smart could have shopped around for a cheaper place.
You would think.
Well, I mean, it is. I mean, it is a 7-bedroom, 8-bath estate. So I mean, it's a mansion. He's renting a mansion. So hey,
can you imagine being so disgustingly rich that you just that's what you do? Just an average person's annual salary is your monthly rent. Oh, rich people, I tell you.
Hey, ain't AB his roommate?
I
think he did stay there actually. I think you're
wow.
Right. I think AB stayed with him last year when he got signed.
So maybe they went halfsies.
Maybe that's why he's getting evicted.
Hey, look, AB, I love you, but you're trolling. I got to get the hell up out of here. More like you got to get the hell up out of here.
He said, both y'all got to go. I'm trying to make this money. Eddy, cool. Double.
Wow. Hall of Fame house flipper, Derek effing Jeter. All right. You give them girls some gift baskets, but I digress. All right. So my third and final pepper point goes out to a basketball player of the Miami Heat, and also the inspiration behind my latest meme is too early for that mess this morning. All right. We talk about the one, the only, the legendary Udonis Haslem. All right. Udonis Haslem has been playing forever. Okay. It's a long time we take the floor off that thing, the worst Bernie Mac. He's been playing in Miami forever, and he finally made his season debut, actually played last week, his 18th season, all right? Udonis Haslem is 40, all right? 3 minutes in the game, it got a little chippy between him and Dwight Howard, and then all of a sudden, and I quote, kind of, sort of, not really, he got in his face and he said, look, I'm going to hit you in the bleeping mouth, all right? Some words we exchanged, a whole lot of tussling, a whole lot of rustling, pull apart, and all that good stuff. His season stats are 3 minutes played, 1 rebound, 2 technicals, 1 ejection, and 1 cool beam created by me with the Sports Bros podcast on it, Eddy Cool. Hey man, shout out to Udonis Haslem, a real one. who could come back next year for his 19th season. Over to you, Scottie D. This is great.
That's crazy. I think that's going to be it for Haslam. I think he's walking off into the sunset with an ejection. He may get it. He might. I mean, they're in the playoffs, I believe, so he may get a minute or two here or there just to get on his home court again. But that's crazy. I mean, I think that's awesome. I think that's cool.
If you're gonna go out, go out on top. Go out like that.
Yeah, go out in style. He said something. He put a tweet out saying something to that effect. Anyway, on the basketball topic, the NBA Hall of Fame induction took place this past weekend. Michael Wilbon got in for media, which is awesome because we all think he's a Hall of Famer. Anyway, the main event people were Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, who both gave great speeches, and of course Kobe Bryant got elected this year. This was his year to go in. So much has happened in the past year, guys. It's hard to believe that last year's calendar year he was still alive. It seems like so long now since that happened, since we lost him in that fatal helicopter accident. But with Michael Jordan at her side, his wife Vanessa gave an incredible heartfelt speech. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was one of those ones that I had to kind of watch him private with my hands next to my eyes just to make sure nothing leaked out of there.
Somebody was cutting onions.
Cutting onions bad on that one, man. It was real emotional. I give her a ton of credit for holding it together because she got through the entire speech. And she kind of went on to say this was like Kobe's dream come true. He always wanted to be a Hall of Famer. Kobe didn't make any secrets. He wanted to be the best. He wanted to be a champion. He wanted to be a Hall of Famer. So now officially you can scratch the word future out of the word Hall of Fame in front of Kobe Bryant's career. Kobe Bryant, Laker legend, Hall of Famer. Congratulations. I love it. I love that one. Be live, over to you.
Kobe Bean Bryant, the Black Mamba, now a Hall of Famer.
Yes, sir.
Man, oh man, one of the best to ever do it. All right. Enough of me and Scottie D agreeing, because now I gotta come with it for my last pepper point. It's just I enjoy this part of the show just because because I get to do things like this. But this actually is courtesy of one of our listeners. Shouts out to Sammy Smokes, Moshe Sampson, with providing the story for me. And we're going to go across the pond once again when it comes to football, aka American soccer, and Scottie D leads. And I got no problem with that because this was
go ahead.
This was one of the feel-good stories because one of the biggest leagues in the world when it comes to soccer is the Premier League in England. And Liverpool was actually down 1-0 in this match, and they managed to tie it, but it was tied 1-1 going into stoppage time. And it came off of a corner kick. They were like, all right, we need a little extra help. So the goalie comes down. It's almost the end of the game. This is different between 1 point and 3 points. And in competition, this never happens. But the goalie gets a header off of the corner kick and scores a goal for Liverpool to win the match 2-1. So when I tell you, you got to look up the highlight. Liverpool, they were facing West Bromwich Albion, and man, the highlight speaks volumes. Scottie D, just one time in your life, just look at the highlight, and you'll see how ecstatic the team was. And now they only trail Chelsea by 1 point in the Premier League. And the top four of the Premier League, they advanced to the Champions League. And the Champions League features the top talent from all of Europe, and just there's all types of money involved. So shout out to the Reds, Liverpool Football Club, and their goalkeeper, Alisson. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's English, so it's Allison. I just like it had two S's, so I don't know why I wanted to go French with it, but it is what it is. I do what I do. And man, it was again an amazing match. I believe they have 4 games remaining. It's gonna be a very tight finish between Liverpool and Chelsea. They'll get that ever precious fourth spot to make it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the edge of my seat on that one.
Shut what I call the help.
I hope that one's on in prime time, so I don't have to go to sleep and miss.
Sammy Smokes, I apologize for it. Just the
I will watch the highlight.
You will. Thank you.
I will watch the highlight because I'll tell you what. It's not that I don't mind watching the highlights of of a soccer game when you score a nice goal. It's the ways between goals that I don't like. That's the one I don't like.
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Goal 4 days later, 1-0.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was watching some MLS yesterday, and man, I'll tell you right now, I hate soccer flopping. I hate it with an ungodly passion. I hate the way they exaggerate every single. They fall on their pinky toe.
They run up and they try to jump up and hit them off their heads. I mean, that's violent.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, man, the head of creative Eddy Cool would be great in soccer with that forehead.
Wow. Wow. Wow, an unprovoked attack on the head of creative. Wow. How about that, Eddy Cool?
See what happens? It be your own people sometimes. I gave him a wonderful opportunity to come on this here podcast and do his thing. Now I'm getting shots taken at me about my forehead. I got my mama forehead. I know this, all right? I understand this, all right? I don't appreciate this. You ain't no real friend.
I gotta go.
Oh God, I love you guys.
All right. All right, we got all our 3 paper points in, ladies and gentlemen. It's been another action-packed episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. For the Money Man, Scottie D, the Almighty B Live, I'm the head of creative Eddy Cool here at the Sports Bros Podcast. Before we get up out of here, check out our Facebook like page, our Facebook group, and all our social media platforms. You can find it located right there in the description box. And also, if you watch this on YouTube, leave some comments, man. Show some love, man. Cut up. And as I said earlier, if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. All right, not no 4, not no 3, 2, 1, a whole 5 of them things. STAR. All right, yes, I know I add extra R to it. Anything I want to say before we get the hell up out of here, fellas?
Go Liverpool.
Oh man, Hurricanes winning the Stanley Cup. Over to you, Eddy Cool.
Oh,
I like the Penguins. Be live, over to you.
All right, before they kill each other, and in closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They'll appreciate it now more than ever. We getting up out of here. It's been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. May it's Mental Health Month. Y'all be nice and please take care of each other. Goodbye.
That's gonna be us in Dallas. You see it. Keep pounding. We're taking over AT&T Stadium.
Yes, sir.
You mother. Oh boy.